The fall sports season is almost in the books, and the Cardinals add some hardware to the trophy case, including a national championship by the men's cross-country team. There's only one place you can get all the highlights and analysis from another successful fall in North Central College athletics, right here on the Cardinal Report. Welcome to the final fall edition of the 2011 Cardinal Report. I'm Marc Dahlquist. With me is volunteer assistant head coach to the men's cross-country team, Ray Krause. Ray, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for being here.
So a big Saturday for the men's cross-country team. They head up to Winnicombe, Wisconsin, and they come home with a national championship.
Yeah, it was obviously something that was special each time that we win. It's a special group. It's a different group each time, a different year, but it's just as special each time.
You know, talking to the team throughout the year, it seemed like this really was the ultimate goal. They weren't really satisfied with conference championship, regional championships, individual championships even. The team really wanted to bring home that national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we set the bar high each year. We do have high expectations. Each group, as I said, is unique to each particular year, but we do have high expectations each year. And these guys had the ultimate goal of winning the title, and we did it.
Well, the Cardinal Report was there to see the men bring home the title. In case you missed it, let's go to the highlight. Lake Breeze Golf Club in Winnicombe, Wisconsin, the site of the men's and women's Division III cross-country national championships hosted by the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. In the men's race, head coach Al Carius looking for his 14th national championship in cross-country, as the Harriers are led by regional champion Matt Perez. The runners head back to the starting line after a false start on the first attempt to start the race. But a clean start in the second attempt as the runners jockey for position would end in a melee as a St. Lawrence runner trips and takes down Dan Curley and Matt Brinkmeyer with him. As they round the first mile, it's Ben Sathry of St. Thomas building a big lead, running a sub 4:30 first mile. Matt Perez right behind the lead pack, running in 10th, trying to keep pace. Senior Neil Klein staying in striking distance of the leaders, and Curley and Brinkmeyer rebound from the fall, running with Kevin Sparks and John Kane in the top 50. At 3 miles, Perez stride for stride with Kevin McCarthy of Wabash, fighting for 8th place. Klein finding his stride and running in the top 15 at the 3-mile marker. Curley, Sparks, and Brinkmeyer all running close together, and John Crane looking to make his move not far behind his teammates. Perez is able to hold off McCarthy of Wabash for a 5th place finish overall in a time of 24 minutes 15 seconds. Senior Neil Klein puts an exclamation point on his North Central career, crossing in 15th in 24 minutes 33 seconds. And Dan Curley, Kevin Sparks, and John Crane would round out the scoring for the Cardinals, finishing in 37th, 41st, and 48th respectively. As the Cardinals would go on to claim their 2nd national title in 3 years, and the 14th for Coach Al Carius. So, Coach, talk about that race. It was sort of interesting there at the beginning. Some of the Cardinals, fell down. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. What happened, it seemed like, and just so everybody's clear, I did not actually make the trip. This is one of the first nationals that I wasn't able to attend due to a family emergency. However, I did watch a live feed and certainly talked to all the athletes and the coaches, and saw many of the pictures online. But yeah, we did have 2 athletes fall at the start. And as you see, it's a crazy atmosphere. It's a crazy start, and when you fall, you're really put behind the 8 ball like that. And they charged forward those 3-4 miles into the race, and were able to make up for it.
So the Cardinals really weren't the team to beat throughout the race. They sort of had to chip away, and sort of make up some ground. Yeah,
what happened was typically we like to get good position in the beginning, not necessarily at the point or at the very beginning of the pack, so to speak. But we like to get good position. They didn't get that good position as a team, and they were forced to basically chip away the whole 5 miles. In fact, there was a statistics that we had seen that put us at 11th place at the mile mark. Obviously, that's quite a ways from first. So we had a lot of work to do.
And most impressively, I mean, there was a false start. How does that affect the runner's mentality going into that second start?
I don't think it's as dramatic of an issue as it is, let's say, during a track race.
Right.
But you know, when you're on the line with almost 300 runners and they call you back, it's really not that big of a deal.
Talk about some of the individual performances put out by the Cardinals. You know, Matt Perez coming in with the 5th place finish. He's really been, you know, a hard runner all year.
Absolutely. If you look at where each athlete was in that race at the start, or let's say even the mile, for the most part, every single one of them moved up through the race. Even Matt, who put himself in good position, one of the top couple guys besides he and Neil, who did get good positioning. Matt was probably running at about 10th or 11th most of the race, and he ends up 5th. You know, he's been just a solid front runner for us the whole latter part of the season, and you know, he's been just a tremendous quiet leader of the group.
And I know you weren't there on Saturday, but you were a part of 2 national championships yourself with the Cardinals. What is that atmosphere like at these national meets?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. It's pretty fun. You know, I remember the very first one I was on was back in 1981, way before the chip technology. We didn't know we won until we got to the gymnasium, until they announced what team was 2nd place. Wow. And then when they didn't announce our name, we knew we had won. So it's come quite a ways, but each year, each national championship you know, race is pretty special to be at.
Yeah, with the technology these days, it seemed you know, the Cardinals were finding out who was winning the second they were crossing the line. Right.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing now with that chip technology. In fact, I said we were 11th place at the mile. They announced at the course apparently that we were 4th at 3 miles. So we still had work to do.
And with this team, it is a really young team, so we should see a lot of the same Cardinals back next year. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to you know, developing some other young athletes that we have on the team, and having a couple more step in there for us for next year. But yeah, we do return the nucleus of this squad.
And how important is that, you know, to bring back guys, you know, to help lead the younger guys, you know, throughout the season?
It's just part of the North Central culture. It's part of the program. You know, it's been said that we retool every year. I personally don't like that term. I think we do a better job of developing.
Right.
And you know, we don't get the greatest talent every year like people think. But what Al and Grammy and the other coaches do very well is develop young talent. And I think that's what's important as you know, the 40+ years have come and gone, so to speak. It's constant developing younger athletes to move into that role as leaders, so that they in turn can show the leadership for the younger athletes coming after them.
Well, Coach Karras can put another impressive year on his resume.
Absolutely.
Coach Kraus, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Stick around, because after the break, I will be joined by 3 runners from the national championship team. Keep it right here on the Cardinal Report.
Today is Saturday. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Report. Joining me now are members from the national championship team, Matt Perez, Neil Klein, and Daniel Curley. Matt, let's start with you. You claimed the individual title in the CCIW race and the regional race, and you get a 5th place finish at nationals, but it really didn't seem to compare to that national team title.
You know, it was a great feeling, man. All the work that we put in, you know, starting from last year when we lost, you know, just to be able to hold up that trophy and know what we accomplished was, you know, it was an amazing feeling, and a feeling that, you know, not many people know, and a feeling that I can't really describe. You know, but it was great. It was a moment I'll never forget.
It really seemed that this team wasn't satisfied with just a regional or a CCIW championship. The goal all year was really to get to that national race. Am I right?
Definitely. I mean, that was it. You know, since last year, that's what we concentrated on. That's what we thought about. That's what we wanted to do. And you know, throughout all of our training, you know, that was our concentration. And you know, so that the fact that we accomplished that was, you know, amazing. So.
Neil, you were part of the Cardinal team in 2009 that won the national championship as well. This year, though, you're a senior. Does it feel a little bit more special in your last year at North Central getting the national championship again?
Yeah, it was a lot more special win this year, because in 2009, it was the same feeling. We were dominant. We were on top of the world, as same we were this year. But when we came to the nationals, you know, everything went our way. You know, the start went great. You know, our 4 parts of the race came together perfectly, but like this year, everything went wrong. You know, we had guys go down, guys where they were supposed to be, not supposed to be. We were 13th at the mile according to the computers, and we just rallied back, and we still proved that we were the best team, and it was just that much more of an exciting win then.
Daniel, you were a part of one of those things that went wrong in the beginning of the race. Talk about what happened there at the start when you guys sort of tumbled along there.
Well, the competitors next to us at the start, the Dickinson team, one of their runners fell down in front of Matthew Brinkmeyer and I, and we had to almost crawl over him during the start of the race, and we just had to battle back into it. And that's, I mean, that's one of the things that they harp on at the team, is that we're a strong team and we compete well, and so that's what Brink and I had to do to get back into it.
What was that like, fighting with adversity? At least you had, a teammate by your side, I guess, to try and get back into the race.
Mm-hmm.
So describe what was going through your head when you originally fell down, had to get back up. You're already losing some ground. What are you guys doing at that point?
Well, the funny thing is I've fallen down in a championship race before, and so I guess I've had practice at it, but I knew that I had to get back into it. I had to get back working at it, and I knew I had to get up there with my teammates and work hard for them, and not only just myself, but for them. And so I knew I had to battle back into it.
Matt, you were one of those guys that jumped out in that lead pack. Did you even know your teammates were down and on the ground behind you?
No, I had no idea the whole race. I didn't know. No one told me. I was just, I was out there doing what I had to do, but I didn't know, and I'm kind of glad I didn't know in a way. I don't think it would have affected my performance at all, but it just kept me in the zone. I wasn't worried about what was going on, and I knew everyone was doing what they had to do. So,
you were with that lead pack the whole time, running usually around 10th, 15th in that area, but you move up to 5th. Were you conserving some of your energy during the race?
I wouldn't say conserving. I was just running how, we're trained to run. I was just getting out conservative and just getting good position and slowly working my way up. And while people are falling back, we're moving forward. And that's exactly what happened throughout the whole race.
Neil, you were the lone senior runner on this Cardinal team for the race. Did you try and, instill something in the younger runners to, give them some confidence going into it?
Yeah, this is pretty much last year with Mike Spain. He was like a really good leader, and I tried to model that as best as I could from a vocal standpoint, even though my running performances were up and down throughout the entire year. So giving them the vocal mindset of, hey, we got to stay focused. Hey, this is what we're working for. They really caught on, really caught fire, and everyone really bought into that focus. And
the team that beat you guys last year, Haverford, finishes 2nd. How good did it feel, Daniel, to take them down this year?
I don't know. We don't really try and focus on beating any other team. We really just try and focus on bettering ourselves. So during the race, you could hear our fans chanting, get Haverford, and pointing out to their runners, to us. But I think the best part of this year is knowing that we became the best team that we could have and the strongest team that we could have.
Talk about the atmosphere of that race. I mean, I've never been to a cross-country meet with such enthusiasm from the fans. It was almost like a football tailgate. You saw body paints everywhere and people with signs. Matt, what was that like, having the fans basically follow the race everywhere it went on the course?
It's exciting. It's a great time, and without the fans, the race would not be the same, obviously. And it's just a good time to be there, and an exciting time. But at the same time, for us, we try to stay as focused as as we can. But it's great. People running back and forth. People, it's freezing out there. People are not wearing clothes. It's just like, what's going on here? But yeah, it's a great time, a good atmosphere, and it just makes the race that much more amazing.
Well, one of the guys that's been a cornerstone of this team is one of your coaches, Al Carius. What has he meant to this program, Neil?
One word is everything. I mean, that man is, not only does he want to see us perform well on the field, he wants to see us perform well off the field. So in the classrooms, becoming young men, becoming fathers, whatever. He wants to see us become that successful person and maximize everything, all the talents that we have been given, not just the running part of it. So, and he just tells us every day that you're working to better yourself to get to your maximum potential, and that's what we take to heart, and that's what he really gives.
Well, I think you guys
positive
reached your maximum potential this year. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
No problem.
Don't go anywhere, because after the break, I will be joined by the women's cross country team's head coach and runners who helped claim the second best women's finish at Nationals. Stick around.